All right, guys, what is going on? My name is Pipe Bomb City, and welcome to my 2016 edition of the Battleground pay-per-view predictions here. That's a shit ton of words, but getting into this pay-per-view, guys, I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view so goddamn much. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm looking forward to this so much, guys. Tons of great matches are going to happen here. Some not so great, but still, I think it's going to be great either way. So getting into this, though, I'm going to not be going in order. I usually don't in my predictions here. But before this video begins, be sure to check out my Instagram at instagram.com/pipebombcity. And be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. So as I said, I'm personally looking forward to this pay-per-view of a lot. I think it has great potential. Then again, I said this about Payback. I said this about Extreme Rules. I said this about WrestleMania. I said this about Fastlane. I said this about Money in the Bank, and I don't think I was pretty much happy with any of those pay-per-views, Of course, some of it had good matches and great stories, but then most of it was just shit, in my opinion, Other than Money in the Bank, every pay-per-view I just named, I was like, oh, it's going to be so great, just like I'm saying for this one, and it wasn't so great, So hopefully that's going to turn around here. I think Battleground, again, I think it can be great. Honestly, it has the potential to do that. But I'm not going to let my hopes get too high because I've learned from the past that sometimes WWE just takes good and turns it into shit, okay? But anyways, getting into this, guys, I'm not going to go in order. Let's start with, not the main event, I usually do, but let's not start with the main event. Let's start with the women's tag team match here. We got Charlotte and Dana versus Sasha and the mystery guest, I don't know what the fuck. Mystery partner, okay? And pretty much everyone is saying, oh, Bayley. Oh, my God, it's got to be Bayley. Holy shit. Hell, she's in the thumbnail of this video. I had to put her in there because everyone's saying, oh, it has to be Bayley. She didn't get called up during the draft. This is her time, And that's why I don't think it's going to be Bayley. If they really wanted to do someone with Bayley, they would have had her debut in the draft. She would have been drafted to either Raw or SmackDown. And then in this match now, she would have been in this tag team match. She would have been put in, but she wasn't drafted. That would be stupid if they don't put her in the draft and then she just appears, She would have been a huge draw for the draft, so it would have been dumb. So it's not going to be Bayley, all right? And just every part of me is saying, oh, it's just not going to be Bayley, Everyone's saying, oh, Finn Balor is going to debut on the main roster, and they said that last year, He said it himself. I'm not going to debut. And everyone's like, oh, you will. And then he never did. It's kind of like this. Everyone's saying, oh, Bayley has to be the partner. Sasha herself said Bayley is not the partner. And I'm like, she has to be. It's not going to be Bayley. If it is, that'd be great. I'd love it. Huge surprise. But pretty much every part of my mind and body, for some reason, is telling me that it's not going to be Bayley. All right. But two people in my mind, I think it could be. It's either going to be Paige, or Nikki Bella, okay? And Nikki Bella, because she's been out a while, she's returning to the ring, I think, this week, which makes me believe that, it may be too early. She just got back to the Performance Center this week, or maybe it was late last week, so I don't think she'll be returning in a huge Battleground match tonight, Actually, this is like the, how should I say, the latest predictions video I've ever made. We're like 2 hours away from the fucking pay-per-view, and I'm doing it right now, but whatever, Okay, so pretty much, though, what's going on here is Nikki Bella, as I just said, she returned to the Performance Center too short ago. Not enough time, all right? It's not going to be Nikki Bella. My gut is telling me it's going to be Paige. From what people are telling me, it's going to be Paige. From images I've seen, it's going to be Paige. From news I've heard, it's not going to be Paige, okay? And that's what concerns me, but whatever. It's either going to be Nikki Bella, Bayley, or Paige, but I'm going with Paige here. But let's get into the actual match prediction here. I'm going to have to go with Sasha and mystery partner, This is pretty much the SummerSlam kickoff show times 3, but whatever, And this is pretty much leading up to SummerSlam. Every single match here has, in some way, shape, or form, has to do with SummerSlam, And this is a prime example of that. This is pretty much just leading to the Sasha versus Charlotte match at SummerSlam, And if Bayley was the partner, it'd be a great way for her to get involved, But whatever, Either way, I'm going to have to go with Team Babyface. If Team Heel wins, I really wouldn't be surprised, but my prediction here is going to be Sasha, mystery partner. Getting into the second match I want to talk about is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens here. For some reason, I'm just going to go randomly in order here. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. This is pretty much the co-main event, if you really look at it. The whole thing going on with Cena, Enzo, and Cass, and the club, and it's kind of a mess if you really look at it. It kind of is, if you're really looking at it. I mean, it hasn't been built up the best, of course it's been fine, but it's pretty much just kind of a huge mess going on here because you got John Cena versus AJ Styles plus 4 other guys. And it's just, I don't know. It's just this weird thing going on and they're trying to make it work. But in my opinion, with the really bad club promos that have been going on, I really haven't liked what they've been saying. You could tell someone backstage definitely wrote it hardcore. And then you got Cena, who just doesn't really blend in well, in my opinion, with Enzo and Cass. And that's just my opinion. But it's just, I don't know. There's that. But if the co-main event, this is pretty much Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens is the co-main event. If you really look at it in the order of the card, it's probably not going to be. But, I mean, pretty much the New Day versus the Wyatt, blah, no, the women's tag team, nah, the IC and US title, nope, nah, So, pretty much this is kind of it. This is the next best thing next to the Shield triple threat. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, though, of course, these guys always have great matches. They're both so great. But the bad part is that this is pretty much the exact same feud as Becky Lynch versus Natalya. If you really look at it's pretty much the same exact shit that went on. There really is no reason for this match, pretty much. I mean, at least at Payback, there was a reason for it. But now if you look at it, it's like, okay, after Money in the Bank, Kevin Owens attacks Sami Zayn, and that's all they've been doing. It's like attacking. And I get it, WWE's trying to pull they fight forever. But I mean, they don't literally have to fight every 3 pay-per-views, They're always going to put on quality shit. But when they pretty much are just attacking each other and it really doesn't help either guy, that's when I really don't like it. My prediction for this match has got to be Sami Zayn. Owens won at Payback. Owens pretty much dominated him in NXT. Zayn was actually drafted 11th, while Owens was drafted 18th. So if you really look at it, my prediction here has got to be Sami Zayn, all right? Getting into the next match, I'm actually finally going to be talking about the main event. We got the Shield triple threat. I'm going to be talking about this one here. I got a lot to say. Okay, this match, obviously everyone's looking forward to it, but you know shit's going to happen. I really don't think, or there might, but part of me is saying, oh, there has to be a DQ finish. They're not going to have one of the greatest matches of all time, build-up wise. The actual match, of course, it's going to be fucking great, And then on top of that, it's just, oh my God. Part of me just doesn't want this to be a battleground because if some way and somehow this turns into Rollins versus Reigns at SummerSlam, it's like, come on, I'd rather see the Shield triple threat at SummerSlam and Rollins versus Reigns at Battleground than vice versa, I mean, I hope this is just a DQ finish and they can move on and they can have an actual build-up at SummerSlam with Reigns involved. Rollins and Ambrose have been doing great, but really this is the Shield triple threat and you got to get Roman in there. I really do hate Roman. I really do. Least favorite man on the roster, in my opinion. But you know what? That's just me. But he does need to be involved. This is the Shield triple threat. He didn't show up the first night of the rivalry started. And, well, I mean, after Money in the Bank, and he didn't. And okay, how should I say? He missed the last night they had a chance to build up the rivalry. He just returned, I think, like a few days ago, at some live event. But it's not going to cut it for me, But if it ends up that tonight Rollins versus Reigns just happens at SummerSlam, that's fine, But I would rather see the Shield triple threat at SummerSlam. I think that'd be a great place to have it. But, man, whatever. My prediction for this match is Seth Rollins. Ambrose's time is up, unfortunately. Reigns, I just don't think he can win it. Part of me says, he might win it. I don't doubt it because, oh my God, he's fucking Roman Reigns. He's the perfect guy. But of course, he can overcome the odds and come back from doing drugs, and then blah, blah, blah. And now he's back here and he's going to win the title. I just really don't think that's going to happen. Vince is pretty crazy on the guy, but I really don't think he's fucking insane. I'm going to have to go with Rollins. It's been building up for Rollins, That's just my prediction. It's going to be a great match. I really hope there's a part 2 to this at SummerSlam, because what is Ambrose going to do? Everyone is saying shit's going to go on with The Miz. I'm like, all right, I don't know how The Miz has to do with anything. And, man, maybe there's something going on, but I don't see it, He'll compete for the IC. I don't know, But prediction is Seth Rollins. Getting into the next match here, the Wyatts versus the New Day. Really not much to say other than I'm very let down by this, because it's not for the titles, which means Wyatt family is going over. That's my prediction. They did it at WrestleMania with the League of Nations. They make it, it's a 3-man tag so that the belts are not on the line. And I'm just so mad that the Wyatt family was split up. That's why I really don't like this match now. I was looking forward to this so much. I think the Wyatt family compound, the Wyatt compound, whatever the fuck it is, I thought that was great. I thought the build-up with Bray Wyatt and Xavier was great. The match on fucking SmackDown, it had so much emotion and story building in one match. It was so great, and just the overall chemistry that these teams have as a rivalry, and probably in the ring, From what I've seen so far in the ring, it's been fine, and the rivalry has been great. But now the Wyatt family is split up. They're not going to win the titles. This rivalry, unfortunately, is going to end here unless Strowman does his own thing and Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt go on to SummerSlam to face Big E and Kofi Kingston, or maybe Woods will be involved. It makes sense storyline-wise. And then they can face for the tag team titles. I don't think that's going to happen. We already saw a promo where Eric Rowan is doing his own thing, and it was creepy as fuck, by the way. Holy shit. I don't get scared at all by WWE shit, but honestly, that was pissing my pants. That was something else. Strowman is on Raw doing his own thing now, and Wyatt, of course, he's going to be one of the faces of SmackDown. So they're all going their separate ways, unfortunately. This is probably the last time we're going to see the Wyatt family together, and it's such a shame because they were finally doing good, man. They were finally getting it together. They were great. Okay, let's look at just the Wyatt family here. Debuted in 2013. A great young team. 2014, they established their dominance. 2015, oh shit. These guys are losing all their matches, Harper gets injured. Wyatt gets injured. It breaks up, Oh, my God. And then the shit with Harper and Rowan, it was just those two for a couple of weeks, and it was just so bad, and it wasn't the Wyatt family. And then they came back, a fresh start, and then now, pretty much a month into their return, they're getting drafted at different brands. And I'm like, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that all three of them have to be on the same brand, but they could have done it in a way where, I don't even know. I don't even know how they could have done it. But it's pretty much just me being upset that this is pretty much the end of the Wyatt family. We're still going to see them, and they're all doing their individual thing, but it's the end of the Wyatt family. And honestly, it's a good thing, but I really wanted to see them get a tag team title run in, It's about time. They've been in the WWE. I think this is pretty much, we're coming up, or we've already passed their 3-year anniversary here, and they have nothing to show for it. They didn't win any titles. They didn't put on any matches of the year. The only one I could think of is the Wyatts versus the Shield at Elimination Chamber, 2014, I think. And then Cena versus Wyatt at WrestleMania 30, but those are the only pretty much amazing matches they've had. They're so great in the ring. Trust me, they've had a lot of good matches, but those are the most memorable ones, They don't have any titles to show for it other than Luke Harper, who is pretty much, I don't even know what he's doing, He wasn't even drafted yet. He's been injured. But he won the Intercontinental title for a month. But that was at a time where the Wyatt family wasn't together. But if you really look at it, these three men, they really don't have anything to show for it. And that's what I hate, because they're such a great talent, and WWE makes it like, oh, they're one of the Bray Wyatt. He's like one of the top guys, the Wyatt family. They dominate. But they really haven't done anything, and that's what pisses me off. And they're not going to win the titles, unfortunately. They're getting split. They're getting split to different brands. unless some way, maybe it is, Harper gets drafted to SmackDown, and then you have Wyatt, Rowan, and Harper, and they could win the titles. I don't even know, because the New Day's on a fucking different brand, and they're the champions. It just, oh my god, it's so confusing me. This is a non-title match, and that's what pisses me off the most. If this was a title match, I'd be like, hell yeah, you know? But it's not. So whatever, man. Everyone's going their different ways in the Wyatt family. Pisses me off. This was such a great rivalry, and I'm just pissed that this is the end, you know. But I'm talking way too much, you know. This is like fucking half the video about this match. My prediction, of course, is going to be the Wyatt family, but no words, man. No more words. Next match I want to talk about is the kickoff show. Nothing really to say other than these are two SmackDown Live teams competing against each other. My prediction is going to be Breezango going over the Usos here. Next match I want to talk about is pretty much the female version of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, except not match quality and just not good. My prediction is going to be Becky Lynch. Moving on to the next match, Ruru versus Zack Ryder. Holy shit. Zack Ryder's getting another title shot, and this is just bewildering to me. We're getting close to the 5-year mark since he won that U.S. title. You know, back in 2011, and everyone was like, holy shit, he's going to get pushed, and then he never did, you know, but whatever. Oh, my God. And then here we are competing for that same title, and my prediction, here's my real thing that's going on. I've been thinking about this video. I was going to do it yesterday, but one of the reasons I didn't do it is because I didn't get all my predictions together, mainly because of these fucking mid-card title matches. You know, I really had to think about it, and I couldn't make up my mind. Here I am. I'm making the video. I thought, okay, I got to do it now or never. I still haven't made up my mind. You know, I have no idea. But I can guarantee you one of the mid-card champions is going to change. Either it be Darren beating Miz or Ryder beating Rusev. I think the Miz is going to beat Darren Young, though. But my prediction, I'll get into that in a minute, but my prediction for the U.S. title match is going to be Zack Ryder beating Rusev. I hate Zack Ryder. He's pretty much right next to Roman Reigns for me. And a lot of people love Ryder, but his time is up. If this was at least, you know, 2013, 2012, 2011, I'd be like, all right, you know what? Give him the title. But 2014, 2015, 2016, this is the present time. I don't like Ryder. He's just a failed opportunity. He's a jobber. He should be a jobber. I don't know what they did at WrestleMania with him winning the IC title. It was a great surprise. But I don't know. And I know what they're going to do. Ryder's going to win the title tonight, and they're going to be like, oh, wow, another miracle. And he's probably going to lose it at SummerSlam or something like that. Maybe even the next night on Raw. They've done it before 5 months ago. Oh, my God. But, oh, my God, man, honestly. So my prediction is going to be Zack Ryder going over Rusev, as much as I hate to say that, because I have a feeling, man, one of these mid-card champions, at least one of them, I don't know if both of them, you know, the rise of the jobbers, Zack Ryder and Darren Young are the U.S. and Intercontinental champion. I'd hate that, you know. Darren Young, I'm fine with that. I'm going to get in a minute now. I'm predicting that match next. But my prediction is Zack going over Rusev, man. And I really don't like that because I can't stand Zack. But that's just it, man. You know, I don't know what the future holds. Not much to say, but as Brock Lesnar said for pretty much every Q&A question he had leading up to UFC 200, we just got to wait and see, man. I can't predict the future. We just got to wait and see. Moving into the next match I want to talk about, I'll end the video on Darren and Miz. Real quick, though, my prediction for Enzo and Cass and Cena versus the club is going to be, I got to go with Enzo and Cass and Cena, you know, but whatever, man, that's pretty much all I got to say. I talked about it earlier in the video. I'm not going to repeat what I already said, you know. I finally want to talk about this. The Miz versus Darren Young for the Intercontinental title. In my reality, Darren Young would beat The Miz for the Intercontinental title, and Rusev would crush Zack Ryder for the United States title. Unfortunately, it's pretty much swapped here. You know, my prediction, as I just said, Ryder's going to go over Rusev, and unfortunately, I think that Darren Young's going to lose to The Miz. I was not a Darren Young fan at all, okay? Anytime at all. Especially when they were doing that shit with the Darren Young and Bob Backlund, and on the Titantron, they didn't even show anything in real life. It was all on the Titantron. It was just the shitty promos backstage or wherever the fuck it was, and it's like, oh, let's make Darren great again, and blah, blah, blah. And everyone was hating on it. I was one of those people. And then they won the Battle Royal. And this is pretty much the build up for me to this match. I hate Darren Young. 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 And that pretty much led to every single year. And then I see him do all the stuff backstage with Bob Backlund, and he didn't really show up to the show. And I was like, I hate Darren Young. And then I see him at the Battle Royal. Okay. I didn't even notice him at first. And then I see the cameraman point to Bob Backlund. And I'm like, oh, shit. Right away. I don't know if this is smart, stupid, or me just being an idiot, Right away, as soon as the cameraman started pointing to fucking Bob Backlund, I'm like, oh, my God, Darren Young is going to win this goddamn Battle Royal. He's going to go on and face The Miz at Battleground. Throughout that match, that was the most intense Battle Royal I've ever seen mentally in my mind, because there's been lots of great Battle Royals, but this one I was just like, please don't let Darren win. Please do not let Darren Young win, because I knew he was going to, and he made it to that final 5, and then he made it to the final 3, and he hadn't touched anybody since he made it to the final 10. And I was just like, oh, shit. Darren Young's going over. I see Apollo Crews trying to eliminate Baron Corbin. I'm like, yes, Apollo Crews. Maybe he can do it. He finally gets the opportunity he deserved, and then he lost along with Baron Corbin, who oh my God, dude. Honestly, I would have been fine if Alberto faced The Miz. I would have been fine if Baron faced The Miz. I would have been fine if Ziggler faced The Miz. That's been shoved down our throats all these years. I would have been fine if I really wanted Apollo to face The Miz for the Intercontinental title. But who won that match? It was Darren Young. D. Young, make Darren great again. And I was like, oh my God, this is awful. And then I hear the crowd chant Darren Young. I'm like, this is not SmackDown. This is live. They're actually chanting for Darren Young. And they gave him a reaction. I was like, shit. So then SmackDown airs that week. I see a Miz TV episode, and Darren Young is a special guest. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? And then Darren starts talking. And you don't know, that whole segment, I was like, huh. I left that segment going, maybe this is not that bad. And then I see Darren get in the ring. I see him cut more promos. And I'm like, it all makes sense now. So here I am 2 weeks later, and I am a Darren Young non-hater. I wouldn't say I'm a fan yet, but I do not hate this man nearly as much as I do anymore. I don't even hate him at all anymore. He's just some guy, I like what he did on the mic with that Miz TV. That's what really kicked it for me, And I said this before a few months ago when Titus punched Rusev in the face. And I was like, oh, I love Titus now. Unfortunately, that lasted only for one day. This has been at least 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, maybe Darren isn't so bad. I see the connection with him and Backlund. It works pretty well. He's starting to get some reactions. But this is my problem. I keep remembering all the past, when he was just jobbing, when he was doing the primetime player, when he had that stupid-ass hair, when he was losing matches, and that's what made me hate him. That's what makes me just not like him. But I'm looking at the present, and that's why I don't really want him to win this match, part of me, because it's like, how would that man be the Intercontinental Champion, But, I mean, at least I can understand pretty much every single Intercontinental Champion we've had. Almost. Most of them have been fine. Of course, we have some jobbers squeeze in there once in a while. But I think for the most part, the Intercontinental title has been a prestigious title, no matter what anyone says. The United States title is completely different. That has just been, blah, shit. But the Intercontinental title has managed to keep its prestige along with the WWE and tag team titles. Okay? And now the fucking women's title. But that's fine. But the United States title is dead. But getting into this, Darren Young, unless they're planning to do big things with Darren Young, I do not want to see him win the title. If they are planning for Darren Young to go on and have a successful career, I don't know. I'd be interested. How old is Darren Young? I'm going to fucking look this up. How old is Darren Young? He is 32 years old, okay? Bob Backlund, Titus O'Neil, and R-Truth are the first things to appear right next to Darren. Okay. Okay, so this guy is a young man. You know, he's got tons of future ahead of him. They could put it in his documentary. If he becomes a big star, wow, man, I was just a jobber for years, and oh my God, it was awful. And then I made my rise to the top. You know, if they are not planning to do something with Darren Young, if they're doing what they did with Titus, here comes this guy coming out of nowhere, and then he just gets squashed, and then he's gone forever. Okay, Titus is a completely different story. Titus is 40 years old. Titus, in my opinion, isn't that good in the ring, doesn't have a good character, can't talk on the mic, kissed his son on the mouth. There's a lot of things about Titus that just I don't like, but at least with Darren, you know, I don't know. You know, if they are planning to do big things with Darren Young and the crowd is willing to give him a reaction, I'm fine with Darren winning the IC title. If it turns out a year from now, Darren Young is back on the jobber squad and he isn't doing anything, I will not be happy with this. My prediction is going to be The Miz, but that's just my thoughts. You know, that was also my Battleground 2016 predictions. This video has been almost 30 fucking minutes long. Thank you so very much for watching. I dearly, dearly, dearly appreciate it. My goal was by pretty much August, you know, or no, by what was it? I think it was by August, okay, to have 75 subscribers. We're about 7 days away from August, and we're at 66. So I don't think I'll be hitting 75 subscribers. I'm looking at the main goal by September. I want at least 100 subscribers. So that was subscribers. I think that's still in reach. You know, I think the future's bright for Pipe Bomb City. I think it's going to be great, man. Help me reach the 75 subscribers goal. If you're not already subscribed, I dearly appreciate it. I was actually going to make another video right after this. And then it was going to be seeing if the Raw or SmackDown Live brands were better and who had the better roster. I'm not going to do that now because I'm going to go work out and then I'm going to watch Battleground. So I guess that's not coming out today. I did not expect this video to have so much build up and to actually film for so fucking long or stream. You know, YouTube says that now. It doesn't say 3 days ago. It says streamed live 3 days ago. Whatever. Talking way too much. Be sure to check out my Instagram at Pipe Bomb City and be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. This has been Pipe Bomb City. I will see you all next time.